Now let's use SCSS instead of CSS. I mean, we will add it here so that we have TS instead of JS and SCSS instead of CSS. So the first step to do that is to install it. So we can do npm I SASS into terminal using npm. Now we have to name the file here, which is global.css to SCSS. So we can do this here. Now change the import here in the app.tsx, make it as SCSS. Save, and everything should be fine. Okay, so it's done. Now what we can do is create sample files for styling. So in the styles, maybe we have to rename this. Let's rename this to SASS. So that when in the app dot here, make it as SASS so that it doesn't break. Refresh. Okay. Now what we can do is create the variable files for this. So in the SASS, make a folder called common. In here, let me make a file called colors.scss and one more for fonts.scss. So in the colors, we will use some colors from colors and fonts. So let me open this. Choose a color in the Tailwind colors. So let me use this one for now, which is white. So make a dollar, then say common white. Add the color here. Same way we can use for, let's say, blue. So say common blue and this. Let me add a few more, which will be common red, dollar, common red here. Now we can use the colors if we import the file somewhere in the global.scss. So let's do that. So at the rate import this, let's add the folder called common colors. The same way we have fonts. So import common slash fonts. We have to give semicolon also. Yes. So in the fonts, let me add a few fonts here. So go to fonts.google.com and I have two fonts selected already that I use frequently, Poppins and Roboto. So just we have to copy this styling. Okay, just copy this import statement and paste it in the fonts. You can add as much fonts as you want. Nobody is stopping you. Now if you import, I mean yes, we're importing this here also. So we can use the colors and fonts somewhere if we want. So for example, let me create a file in the SASS folder called home.module.scss. So in here we can add h1 or heading. Let me just go to index.tsx, the main home page, and add one h1 tag here. That will say welcome to firefly.js, which is the name of my stack. So we have to import this here in this file, the module here. So import styles from source SASS home.module.scss. Then we have to simply assign this like this. So class name, we can say styles.heading. Now in the heading, we can use the font. So for example, font size, say 40 pixels. So it's now much bigger. So if you check here that the font is Enter, which is the default font here, which is, if you check in the main, we have this Enter class name. So we have to remove it so that it becomes something like this. Okay, it's still Enter. So let's change it to Poppins. Font family Poppins. Now it's Poppins. If you give it a refresh, see, it's Poppins. Fine. Okay. Now what we have to do is just import the colors if we want to use it. So say color, which is common. It's in capital letters, common red. It is undefined. What is the name of the? It's common red, yes. But I guess we have to import it here directly. This colors. It will not work if we are having it in this folder. So just copy this and add it here. Now it's working. It's fine. Make this as Roboto and it will change. Now the name is now Roboto. If you give it a refresh, yes, it has been changed. So that's how we do it. I mean, yes. So we have the colors and fonts in the common folder and the home module is outside. So let me just hide the form or make the form in the center because it's not in the center. So come over to this components input. We can remove this W full and save. Now what we have to do is we have this input, wrap it in a div. No, it's fine. Okay. Now in this div we can give W as 100 or something. Or maybe 96. Okay, this happens. Maybe we have to remove these from here. Okay, this happens then. Maybe W as 96, width 96. Yes, it's now much big and it's perfect. The same way we have to do is for the button, which is in the index.tsx. So we can just do W96 in the button and see what happens. The size will increase by a lot. See. So maybe not 96, say 64. Yes, it's now big. Let me add ML as 2. Margin left as 2. Or yes, and then empty margin top as 2 also. Fine. So I think this is big. Let's add 30. Now we have this email and the password and submit button to sign in and this H1 text. So that's it for this. And what else we can do here is this. So for example, let's say we have the combinations to align items in the center. So we have to do something like this. For example, we have a flex. Then we can do display flex, justify content center, align items center. We have this combination which sets all the data in the data in the center. So we can use this anywhere. So let me create one file for this, which will be, say, in the common, we have this colors and fonts. Make a file called, say, combinations.css. So in some case, if you don't want to use Tailwind CSS, we can use these combinations. Also import it here or anywhere we want. So basically, let me import it in the home module. So import common / combinations. One semicolon we need, and some space. We can use these combinations here, which is flex. So simply add dot flex here. But will it work? Maybe not. We have to import it in our direct in this app. For example, in the home module, let me just cut this from here. So this is flex. Let me go to the home module dot .jsx or tsx. Let me import this here. Okay, I think it will not work like this because it is module, not plain CSS. So yes, it will not work. So simply delete this. Let me clean the code a little bit. Remove this enter and the font import. And yes, we are done. So now we added the name of the title of the stack, the email field, the password field, and submit button. If you open the console, we should get the data as an array that I did in the previous video.